United, as at December, they were lurking in the relegation zone. They were going on a winless run, and they had to make that decision of sacking Steven Gerrard and bringing in Unai Emery, and he's turned the fortunes of this side around. So Aston Villa are still in the mix. Brentford are still in the mix one way or the other. Even Liverpool, all right, they're in the mix to qualify for Europe. Will it be the top four? That I cannot say. For the top four battle, it looks like it's more of a big fight between just Man United, Newcastle, and Tottenham. But then, looking at how Tottenham play, I don't think Tottenham will ever convince me until the last day of the season. I've seen Tottenham have the opportunity to qualify for the Champions League or qualify for a major competition or win a major competition, and they just somehow let it slip. So I'm not convinced with Tottenham. I feel like Tottenham will still be able to fall short. Newcastle United, they've not been in this situation before. Eddie Howe is taking them for the very first time this season. We're seeing how they are able to push. It will be nice to see them in the Champions League, but do they have the experience for this tail end of the season to maintain and hold their ground and hold their fort to ensure that they finish as strong as they started in the league? That's going to be another difficult task. But it's a really tough battle right there in the top flight. And a goal alert, by the way, West Ham United have taken the lead against Fulham. So it's a really tough battle right there in the top flight. And we just wait to see. I think until the final day of the season, we will not know. I feel like 2 of the Champions League spots will still be vacant. Like, we would not know who those 2 teams will be until May 28th, when the season ends and we get those 10 matches all going on at the same time. That would decide who qualifies for what competition in Europe and who also gets relegated.
So it becomes very interesting because it's so tight at the top, tight midway, and it's also very tight at the bottom, where we've got about from the 13th position till the 20th position is just a 6-point difference. If you go 12th, it's just 9 points difference from the teams. Okay, 7 points difference from the teams in 12th place to the team in 20th position. So it simply means that you're not safe. Even Chelsea may be dragged in here.
No, Chelsea are safe. I mean, we say
40 of the magical 40 points.
Exactly.
So they are safe. By the way, that was just me trying to be sarcastic on the show, but so it's very tight here. There's a Southampton with 23 points, bottom of the log. Leicester with 26 points, in a 19th position. Everton in 27 points. They are 18th place. Then just above the relegation zone, we have AFC Bournemouth with 28 points, and Nottingham Forest in 16th with 28 points. West Ham, courtesy of their 1-0 lead, they have 28 points as well from 29 matches in 15th place. Then Wolverhampton Wanderers, courtesy of their draw right now, they have 29 points against them in 14th position. Then you have Leeds on top with 29 points as well in 13th position. So Victor Obuji, it's very tight at the bottom now. But many are saying that it looks as if the descent will not match on, but they'll match out this time around.
Yeah, a few months ago, I did predict Southampton will get relegated by March, and they actually proved me wrong. Not by folding their hands and just sitting back. They made some good signings, brought in the likes of Carlos Alcaraz, made 3 managerial changes, and they also brought in the likes of Paul Onacho. And those changes have some sort of kept them afloat, but it seems as if it's not enough. They still have Leicester there. Leicester have been struggling all season long. They had this run where they got a couple of results, beat Aston Villa 4 goals to 2, beat Spurs 4 goals to 1, and then since then it's been all losses and no wins at all for Leicester. Same thing with Everton as well under Sean Dyche. Everton might be safe just because of the pedigree of Sean Dyche and how tactically good he is, but Leicester, situation looks there for Leicester. Leicester have got the better team of all the teams fighting for the drop. Wolves will make it just because of Julian Lopetegui. He's been doing a very good job so far, although they've been struggling for a couple of games now. And then you look at Bournemouth to go down as well as Southampton. They won't make it to next season. They have a poor squad, inexperienced manager, and then they just can't get the results away from. Maybe if for the rest of the season they get to play at home, and we can say Bournemouth will be safe. And then Leeds as well. Leeds, they've got a good team, all young players, and Christensen Somerville. Wilfred Ginoto, Sinistera, Rodrigo as well,
Weston McKennie,
and Weston McKennie. In fact, they have 2 Americans in their midfield, Tyler Adams, and then they just can't get the result. For the fact that they have a good team, might see them out to the end of the season. But for teams that will get relegated, I think Bournemouth will get relegated. Nottingham Forest to stay safe. What's the name of the coach now? Steve Cooper will keep them afloat. And then Southampton will definitely get relegated. These 2 teams for me will get relegated. I don't know for the third team.
I think Nottingham Forest relegation will be tied to how quickly Taiwo Awoniyi recovers from injury. They don't know how to score. Brennan Johnson has been trying his best to get them the goals, but with their goal conversion rate, it's not what you would expect of a team that wants to remain in the Premier League. They find it difficult to get the goals. Emmanuel Dennis is not doing the best work right there. Dennis is not doing the best. So if Taiwo Awoniyi is able to recover in the next maybe maximum, is on the bench today. So hopefully we get to see him in a week time. So if we see that recovery, then perhaps Nottingham Forest might be back in the title. Not the title race now, but the Premier League status race.
Last season we saw some Nigerian brothers relegated with